Alright, so we are coming up on 40 minutes worth of runtime right now, as a matter of fact. 7:45, exactly 40 minutes in. Under load, we are at 12.9 volts. And again, we're still running everything in fan low, pump low, because that's what I run at the track. I'm starting to think you could run it in fan high, pump high, and it'd be fine. Up, yep, and there it goes right back up to 13 volts. This is going to be a long night if I let this thing run all the way down to battery shut off. 45 minutes into it, and it's, or 40 minutes into it rather, and it's basically not even showing any signs of getting tired. I mean, it went from 13, I forget what it was. Anyway, it's only down to 12.9, and the voltage just really is not fluctuating too much between loading and unloading. So yeah, I'm going to let it go for a little bit longer, but if I don't see any real voltage drop much past maybe another 10 minutes, we're just going to have to call it, because, I mean, really, there's only so much of this that any of us can stand, right? So anyway, here you go. Sure enough, we're a little over 40 minutes in at 12.9 volts under load. Alright guys, here is a timestamp for you. 50 minutes in. Still no main real difference. One thing I did want to note is that the fan itself, just how strong the fan is being driven right now, there's no difference from when I started this test until now. Before, with the stock lead acid battery, it was not turning that hard. Especially this long into it, it wasn't turning at all because it had already been in shutdown mode. But, you know, the longer it went, you could hear that fan kind of slowing down a little bit. It's not slowing down at all. Just figured I would share that with you. Alright guys, so we are 55 minutes into this. Voltage hasn't changed markedly in the last 45 minutes. I don't think this is going to be any different in 5 minutes than it is now. So we will check back in 5 minutes. And I think I'm going to call it at that point, because that will be a full hour worth of this thing running. Now again, you got to remember, this is with the battery fully charged. The car hasn't been running. This is the absolute best case scenario. This is not indicative of how this cooldown feature is going to last, either with the lead acid battery or with the Archangel, I wouldn't think. Just mainly because, you know, you're running with the benefit of this thing being incredibly fully charged, especially, you know, the lead acid. That thing charged overnight, and I kept trying to top it off as much as I could, with the idea that when you're running the cooldown feature at the drag strip, you know, the battery gets down way low, and about the only amount of time the battery has to charge is when the car is going down the drag strip. Well, you know, that's going to kill your amount of time on that cooldown feature. In this case, you know, it lasted, the lead acid did, for about, you know, 40 minutes. But that is about maybe close to half of what it might run when you're actually at the drag strip before it hits that low battery mark, which is 10.8 volts. This thing's been going on for an hour. Lead acid went on for 40 minutes. Again, in about 3 minutes, well, in exactly 3 minutes, it's going to be an hour. It's still sitting at 13 volts at no load. And 12.8, went to 12.8 finally, 12.9 volts under load. So we're going to keep trucking, and we will... we'll see how it does after an hour. At an hour, I'm going to kill it, because you're never going to let the thing run on cooldown mode for that amount of time. I mean, chances are you're basically going to be getting into, you know, getting the itch at least to make another pass. So, at any rate, and you shouldn't have the thing running for that long anyway. I mean, the car will be cooled down by then, probably well before that. What I'm thinking is that this Archangel will allow you to run the high-speed fan, high-speed intercooler pump, as opposed to the low-speed fan, low-speed intercooler pump, probably for, you know, as long as you're going to want the thing to, or need the thing to cool down, is be my guess. But, yep, see, and here's the other thing. It just went into ECU shutoff mode. Let's get this thing back online here. Let's get this kid rolling. Oh. Here we go. There we go. All right. So there you go. We'll let it run for another couple of minutes and then see if it'll fire up. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. Well, she's been running now for exactly an hour. No change really to speak of in battery voltage. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and kill. Let's go ahead and kill the. Oh, there's your high. Oh yeah, and under high, it drops down to 12.8. Not 7. There you go. So let's go ahead, and it's been running for an hour. Let's go ahead and turn cool down off. See if she'll fire up. Holy crap, this thing spun fast. That turned over way faster than the lead acid battery. Wow. I'm sorry guys, that surprised the heck out of me. Okay. Well, there you go. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I believe this is going to be a multi-part video because I was having some technical difficulties with this thing. So that'll be a few videos you're going to have to watch if you want to watch the entire breakdown. But in a nutshell, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I'll do a normal, sit down chat about, my thoughts type video on this. But ran for an hour. Voltage was stellar. Had unbelievable. The spin on the starter was way faster than it ever did, even with a super full charge on the lead acid battery. This Archangel battery is really showing up so far, at least, to be very impressive. I did not expect that at all. And it saves, 25, 26 pounds in the process. So, man, I got to tell you, I'm impressed with it so far. I need to go get a bolt so I can get this thing installed properly. The bolt's just a little bit too small, or too short rather, to fit in the mounting bracket. Other than that, it's already set up. So, man, that's impressive. And that's a wrap on this one. We'll catch you on the My Thoughts video. How about that? Adios, y'all.